Greetings, my fellow gamers. It's Game Goblin here to dispense more game mastery advice. The 7 Deadly GM Sins. Today's episode is about gluttony. Hey, welcome back. I didn't expect anybody to make it to episode 5. Holy crap, we're on gluttony now. And as we all know, gluttony is all about nom 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 Cookie Monster stuff. In the extreme. Gluttony, though, by definition, is an inordinate desire to consume more than one requires. And it doesn't have to be food. And you might be asking yourself, well, how's a GM gluttonous? And I could ask you the same question. However, I've been putting quite a bit of thought into this one because gluttony, like the previous episode with lust, is a difficult one to really put tabs on. Same with greed, in a way. And the three of them are kind of, just like envy also, they're also kind of all linked together in their own little ways. And a gluttonous GM, they definitely want more. The more compliments that feed their pride, they want the more compliments that feed their greed. They also really love bribes, just like a greedy or prideful GM does. So, putting a gluttonous GM in the spotlight. We've all had one at some point or time, and we didn't even realize it. For a gluttonous GM, the meat and potatoes on the dinner plate is the game itself. And to follow that up with a less metaphorical definition, a gluttonous GM creates their game world. It is all theirs. And every adventure that's run in that game, every character, every NPC in that game belongs to them. And if they cannot control the PCs entirely, they kind of lose interest. A gluttonous GM is also known as the guy who railroads people. They want them to play a specific way in their game world. They want to take more from the game than the players do. This borders in the area of pride, yes, it's true. But at the same time, it kind of separates itself because the same GM, everything is all about them. In a way, they want more. Anything the characters create, if it's third-party materials, the GM has to have it. They take and take and take and take and take. And it really doesn't matter what they take. They could be taking compliments, they could be taking bribes, they could be taking back rubs or rides home to game and rides to game. This is the GM who tries to get as much as they can from the rest of the group for free and walk away with the greatest amount possible from the table when all is said and done. And like I said, this does edge really close into the territory of other gaming sins that GMs can commit. To define that further, a gluttonous GM is also most likely a prideful GM. They could be an envious GM. They could be an angry GM, or their gluttonous natures could provoke anger. So you have to deal really carefully with a gluttonous GM. More often than not, it can be seen that a gluttonous GM is definitely the one person at the table. And even though they've got the DM screen and they can do anything that their minds imagine, it's not enough. They want more, and the only way to get more is by taking it from the players. They may, railroad the players. This is the way the game is run. You have to play it my way. And anything your characters do in the end is mine. This is the same kind of GM who will go as far as to take people's character sheets away from them when a short-term game is over, and then turn around and use those as NPCs in a future game. That being said, a gluttonous GM is one of those quiet evils. You're not going to notice it right off the bat, and it'll take several game sessions, maybe even years, before you realize that this person who's at the game table, for some reason, they want more than what's being provided. That's pretty much all I can say about that, so I'm sorry about the short episode. You may have some encounters with gluttonous GMs that can expand on this. Maybe I can expand the episode later on with some feedback from the viewers. However, just like lust, this is a tough one to pin down. Same as greed, it's not the easiest one to walk up and say, hey, I've had a gluttonous GM and this is what they did. So if there's any comments, obvious trolls will be ignored, but any comments that are definitely valid, encounters, experiences, or thoughtful insights, I'll definitely pay attention to those for further definition of this. It's just one of those GMs you don't encounter very often. So, sorry about the short episode, but I'll see you next week for our next sin in the pipe. Toodles.
Kiss the beat.